He looked at me across that candle-lit dining table on our wedding night, half his face hidden behind that black velvet mask, Kane leaning against his chair like it was holding him together, and dropped the bomb that shattered everything I thought I knew. Natasa, I didn't buy you. I've been trying to find you for 23 years. I'm your father. The crystal wine glass slipped from my fingers and exploded on the marble floor, red wine bleeding everywhere like the whole room just got shot. Because the man I married to saved my mama's life? Turns out he'd been saving mine since the day I was born. Drop your city and the craziest "who's your daddy" plot twist you ever lived through in the comments. I swear on everything I'm reading, every single one. No cap. My name is Natasa Hayes, 23, West Side Atlanta raised, former library clerk, former bartender, former broke college dropout, current reluctant billionaire wife with the wildest glow up in Georgia history. 3 months ago, I was working doubles just to keep the lights on while my mama, Lena Hayes, coughed blood into plastic buckets because stage 3 lung cancer don't care about payment plans. My daddy, Marcus Hayes, sweet man, zero backbone, borrowed 50 grand from some loan sharks who make the cartel look polite. When he couldn't pay, they laughed and said, "Tell your pretty daughter she can clear the debt. Our boss wants a young wife. One signature and nobody dies." The boss? Elias Thorne. Reclusive 60, filthy rich, half paralyzed from a stroke, wears a mask like he's straight out of Phantom of the Opera, lives in a mansion that makes the White House look like government housing. I thought I was walking into a nightmare. I thought I was selling my soul. I had no idea I was finally coming home. I said, "I do," in a courthouse ceremony colder than a freezer. No flowers, no guests, just me in a simple white dress that cost more than my entire childhood, him leaning hard on that cane, Darius, his assistant, as witness, and an old lady clerk who looked like she'd seen it all. When they said, "You may kiss the bride," he just squeezed my hand, warm, dry, trembling, and whispered, "Thank you." I couldn't even look at him. I was Mrs. Natasa Thorne now, and the name felt like a prison sentence. The estate was stupid big. 3 stories, marble everything, fountains, a library that smelled like old money and older secrets. They gave me an entire wing, a closet bigger than my old apartment, dresses with tags I couldn't pronounce. Elias never touched me, never even tried. Just wanted me at dinner, wanted me to read to him because his eyes were going, wanted me to walk the gardens when his legs let him. I hated him for trapping me. I hated the way my heart stopped racing after the first week. I hated that I started sleeping without nightmares. Then came the night that changed everything. It was storming, Atlanta thunder, shaking the windows like God was mad. I heard a scream that ripped me out of bed. Barefoot, heart pounding, I ran to his wing. Door half open, Elias on the floor, curled up like a child, mask hanging off, cane across the room. He'd tried to get to the bathroom alone, pride bigger than his body. I dropped to my knees, helped him sit up, wiped sweat off his forehead with my silk nightgown that probably cost more than my mama's old car. The mask was fully off now. And y'all, my soul left my body. Even through the stroke scars, the drooping eye, the gray stubble, I saw it. The cheekbones, the jaw, the exact same eyes I see in the mirror every morning. I'd only ever seen one baby picture of my guardian angel daddy that Mama kept hidden in her Bible. I was staring at him, 37 years older, and broken to pieces. He saw the recognition hit me like a Mack truck. Tried to turn away, but I grabbed his face. Gentle, but I wasn't letting go. "Take the mask off," I whispered. He started crying, big, ugly, silent tears rolling down that ruined face. Then he told me the truth. 24 years ago, 36-year-old Elias Thorne, already rich, already scared of failing as a father, fell stupid in love with 19-year-old Lena Hayes, a waitress with a laugh that lit up rooms. They had a whirlwind romance. She got pregnant. He panicked, offered money, a house, anything. Mama, 19, terrified, pride bigger than the Georgia sky, told him to disappear. She moved back to Atlanta, raised me solo, never told a soul who my real daddy was. Elias spent 2 decades hiring PIs, watching from afar, too ashamed to force his way in after she rejected him. Then Mama got sick. The loan sharks weren't random. They worked for Elias's old business rival who found out about me and used it as a weapon. When my daddy borrowed that money, the rival laughed and called Elias, "Your bastard daughter's family needs saving. Let's see if you finally grow a pair." The marriage deal, Elias's desperate, messed up way to get me close, protect us, and maybe, just maybe, earn forgiveness before he died. I sat on that cold marble floor and cried so hard I couldn't breathe. This whole time I thought I was a mail-order bride. Turns out I was the prodigal daughter walking back into a house that had been waiting for me my entire life. The weeks after that night were messy and beautiful and everything in between. Elias cried more in 1 month than he probably had in 40 years. I cried every time he called me baby girl, and I didn't flinch. We stayed up talking till sunrise, him telling me about the daughter he lost, Zoe, who died at 16 in a car wreck with his ex-wife. Me telling him about growing up without a daddy, about Mama's strength, about every birthday I wished on a star for a father who wasn't coming. He showed me the room he'd kept ready for me since I was 5. Pink walls faded now, stuffed. Animals still on the shelf, my name carved into the headboard. I slept in there the first night I knew the truth, curled up under a blanket he'd bought when I was in kindergarten. Mama's surgery was a success. Remission, baby. She moved into the East Wing with Daddy, who still calls Elias Sir, like he's scared the man will vanish. Elias taught me how to run board meetings. I taught him how to laugh until he cried. He never puts the mask on when it's just family now. I kiss the stroke scars when he has bad days and tell him he's still the most handsome man I've ever seen because to me, he always will be. We turned Zoe's old room into a library for kids from the West Side. Every Saturday, I bring busloads of children who look just like I did, broke, hungry for stories, nobody reading to them at night. Elias sits in his wheelchair and reads fairy tales in that deep, rumbly voice until his throat gives out. The kids call him Grandpa Thorn. He cries every single time. The loan sharks? Elias bought their entire operation, shut it down, turned their warehouse into a free cancer clinic named after Mama. Petty? Maybe. Therapeutic? 100%. 2 years later, and we're still here. Elias beat the odds. New treatments, new will to live, new reason to wake up every morning. He walks with a cane again. Not great, but he walks. We eat dinner together every night. No long table anymore, just 2 chairs pulled close, sometimes 3 when Mama joins. He taught me how to invest, how to negotiate, how to never let anybody make me feel small again. I taught him forgiveness tastes better than revenge, and that love don't care about blood tests when it's real. And yeah, I still have that simple white wedding dress hanging in my closet next to the ball gowns. Sometimes I put it on just to remind myself where we started. Sometimes he watches me with tears in his eyes and says, "I didn't save you, Natasa. You saved me." Yo, this ain't the end of Natasa's story. This is the part where the credits roll and the real fairy tale begins. From thinking I sold my soul to a monster to finding out the monster was my father wearing scars instead of a crown, life handed me the wildest, most Atlanta-ass redemption arc when I was 1 signature away from losing everything. So, tell me, what's the moment you thought someone was your villain and they turned out to be your whole bloodline? Old letter, DNA test, hospital bed confession, whatever. Drop the whole tea below. I'm reading every comment, replying to the real ones because somebody out there is still carrying hate for the wrong person, and they need to know sometimes the man in the mask is just a daddy who was too broken to knock until it was almost too late. Keep fighting, keep forgiving when it hurts, keep showing up. Because blood don't always raise you, but love always finds its way home. Even if it takes 23 years and one hell of a plot twist. Peace out, stay choosing family, the one you're born to and the one that chooses you back every single day. And never forget, the richest man in the world can still die broke if nobody's there to hold his hand when the lights go out. Catch y'all on the flip. Love y'all. For real.